Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to edit this Cormorant photo step by step in Lightroom Classic. I'll walk you through my full process from a flat raw file to a clean, dramatic final image. Let's get started. Alright, here's the original image straight out of the camera. The exposure is decent, but the bird doesn't really stand out yet, and the colors look a little bit dull. Before touching any sliders, I like to quickly analyze the light, background and subject details. Lightroom profiles don't change exposure, but they do affect how colors and contrast are rendered. Camera standard mimics the in-camera color science, which usually gives better contrast and more realistic colors. Chromatic aberration happens when lens can't perfectly focus all colors in the same spot, and you'll often see it as purple or green edges. By checking Remove Chromatic Aberration, Lightroom automatically cleans that up. Noise usually shows up when you shoot in low light or at high ISO. Lightroom's AI Denoise uses machine learning to tell the difference between real detail and noise, so it smooths the image without making the bird look soft or plasticky. While editing bird photos, you should always leave negative space in the direction the bird is looking at. Negative space refers to the empty area surrounding the main subject in an image. It's not wasted space, it helps create separation and visual balance. I increase the exposure slightly to get a good starting point. Now I'm going to set my white point by holding Option while moving the white slider. This prevents any clipping of highlights. I didn't touch the black slider because the blacks were already pretty dark. I will increase the shadows to reveal the hidden detail in the feathers. I will bring down the highlights to prevent any clipping. I want the subject to be cool, so I will push the midtones towards purple. I want some warmth in the highlights, so I will push them slightly towards yellow. And finally, I will push the shadows towards turquoise. Next, I'll quickly check for the dust spots, which usually come from dirt on the sensor and show up as small dark circles, especially in the sky or smooth backgrounds. I use the Visualize Spots option to make them easier to see. Removing them early keeps the image clean and prevents distractions in the final photo. If Lightroom missed some, you can remove them manually. Now I will create a subject mask and increase the exposure extremely to check for any unwanted halos. The lower part of the bird is sitting in the shadow, so I'm increasing the shadow slightly to bring back more detail in those darker areas. This helps reveal feather texture without affecting the brighter highlights. The goal isn't to make it look flat, but to balance the light so the entire bird feels evenly exposed. Texture helps bring out the fine details in the feathers, while clarity adds contrast to the midtones. Used carefully, they make the subject pop without making the image look harsh. I'm careful not to overdo clarity, especially in wildlife shots to avoid crunchy or unnatural edges. There's a little bit of white appearing in the background because of the boat, so I'm going to crop it in. Now I'm going to add a slight vignette. Normal vignetting doesn't give you much control, so here's my workaround for it. I make a radial gradient around the subject, then invert it and then reduce the exposure. This gives me more control of where I can place the vignette depending on the subject. I'm not adding sharpening in this image because the image is already pretty sharp. And here's the final result. You can see how much more detail, contrast and mood we have added compared to the original image. If you enjoyed this edit, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more photography content, and I'll see you in the next one.